Alrighty, race fans. We are live for the doubleheader here tonight, and I do have a pal in the booth with me.
Hey, y'all.
James is going to join us along for the call here in the Sigma ARCA series around Daytona. And it should be a good one, right?
Oh, yeah, it's Daytona. Unpredictable.
We
I
are,
mean, qualifying was tight, too, so.
yeah, only about half a second separating first to last place, so that shows you just how stout this field of ARCA drivers really is. Heen Clutchoke gets pole position for the first time in his career, and that's going to be interesting to see what the LFG Motorsports cars are capable of doing here. We'll go ahead and do somewhat of an expedited hurry up for the race format here. We're not going to go through the running lineup, but rather talk about the what's to be expected here tonight at Daytona. So I think you can vouch for one of the drivers out there. Taylor Cording showed up in her first outing in the ARCA series and really showed down, didn't she?
Oh, yeah, it's slipping my mind right now. I want to say she finished P3 in our all-female podium there.
Right, yeah, top three most certainly.
And just a all-around really good run for her. She kept her nose clean. A lot of accidents last outing, so really impressive run. Nice to see that they were willing to give her another shot this week. Hopefully it's for the rest of the season.
Well, and those that have tuned into this ARCA race too should know that every time you seem to be in the booth, we've always got some weird happenings. Last week was no exception, especially with race control having to send some folks to the back to allow for the rightful leader to inherit the lead. And now we're rolling into Daytona, so I mean that already goes to show you how crazy tonight could be.
Well, I've seen you have races where you've been live for half the race and it's been a very quiet race, and then all of a sudden I join in and it's excitement because something happened.
Right. Yeah, so no, Daytona, the way I like to call this track is basically the conveyor belt. We get a lot of conveyor belt movement. You get shuffled up high, just like we're seeing Heen Clutchoke, our pole setter here, and now he's going to get shuffled way back. So it's really a game of where you are at the right time at the end of the night.
Well, and right now it looks like that bottom lane is the place to be, really.
And every time we come to Daytona, you gotta expect there to be some gnarly wrecks. These guys,
oh, just like that. And we've already got our first big one of the night.
And they're gonna roll around to the caution flag here. It looks like a minor one, kind of a small one, but some big implications involved there. Jamison Thole in the 40, Rosevich in the 43. So these guys are at the back of the field. It's actually kind of crazy to see Trevor Vaden this deep in the running order at the early laps of this one. You see that 18, kind of the gray and white Hatsune Miku car, about 5 cars up from the back of the field here on that inside line. He sits second in the points, and he's trying to fight the 19 of Wyatt Wilkinson for the overall championship. Actually, I might have that wrong. But either way, here's where the wreck...
The 70 was in that sucker hole, and they got pulled together there. Oh, I didn't like the looks of how that was going to go there.
Early 3-wide shenanigans here at Daytona.
That could have been a lot worse.
Especially, yeah, the 01 there of Sophie. Wow.
Yeah, I was looking at the 01 and Sophie headed toward I think it's the 77 there.
And she was at the very tail end of the field here. She did some very impressive survival right here to avoid contact.
Yeah,
Wow.
just barely nicked that front end and managed to save the car too. That was some really impressive heads-up driving by Sophie.
And of course, she'll survive to fight on for another lap around Daytona here.
I don't think we can say the same for Rosovich.
No, it didn't look like Rosovich is very happy with that 43 car. And I think he's been making this lap since the whole caution came out, it looks like. Yeah, he's trying to get back around the track. Wasn't able to go down pit road on the initial wreck here.
Well, can we go on to the onboard of I think it's the 29? The white car there? Because they got to drive right through that.
Wow.
How they managed to not get involved in that in any way, other than having it happen around them, is beyond me.
Well, and Skylar Taylor, she is in the points battle. She sits 4th right now, 90 points back, so she needs to get every lucky break that she can get to keep fighting for the overall championship here. 31st.
Well, that's the type of heads-up driving that wins you championships right there.
Definitely. Kovacic.
She mischecks up by an inch, and her race is over.
Right. So that heads-up driving is going to keep her in the mix here. We're looking at possibly a restart around lap 7 here at Daytona. And yeah, so back to that, I was talking about Trevor Vaden being second. He is actually second in the points to his teammate Wyatt Wilkinson. So LFG Motorsports has had a solid year so far. I think all but maybe 2 of their drivers have been able to secure a win this year. Of course, Heen Clutchoke joining late has not been able to win. He is replacing the driver that failed to win. Matias Nunez never got a win for him either. So, of the 5 drivers they've had, 3 of them have gotten a win so far. It's pretty impressive.
I do want to remark it. I don't know if she's our biggest mover right now, but Taylor Cording up 10 spots already to 5th.
Right up into 5th there. So that, I mean, every little spot counts, especially if we get a bunch of cautions here. If she just kind of hopscotches her way to the front, she'll be sitting pretty peachy towards the end. Oh, there's a bit of a late start there from the 62. It looks like he's going to get back up to speed.
Well, imagine she can eke out a win here at Daytona before her brothers. That's a little bit of a one-up on them.
Right. Yeah, Tim and Tom Cording, they haven't really had much luck at super speedways, have they?
No, super speedways seem to be the one place that those brothers really, really struggle at.
Well, and I mean, Daytona is a crown jewel. Even if you're in a lower series like ARCA, Bridge to Cup, I mean, it doesn't matter. Getting a win here is huge. She's going to have the advantage of that inside line here at the beginning of the restart. That's going to be huge. Ace Blake stuck in the middle. This is where we should be watching to make sure that we don't get another caution. Somehow we're going to keep an eye on both the front of the field and the mid-pack here as Taylor going towards the lead over the 32 of James Gunner. Side by side for the lead as we are now getting a third line down the middle established here. This is the danger zone for most of them. Yeah, I imagine many of the drivers probably had this one marked on their calendar as, you know, approach with caution here tonight. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Oh, 3 wide for, I think, 5th.
Oh, wow, our leader almost giving up the lead there to sit in the middle. That would not have been ideal.
Yeah, they were trying to clear themselves on Taylor there and just about missed it.
In all honesty, it's probably nice to have Daytona at about this point in the schedule so that if there is anyone that has a terrible mistake here tonight, they can still somehow manage to recover within the next couple weeks to close out the championship. Wow, I am surprised they're keeping it clean, 3 abreast all the way through the field here.
I've got a bad feeling.
Our first caution definitely was the small one. We could potentially see the big one here at Daytona. Yeah, and a lot of the drivers that were up front leading now shuffled up high and fallen backwards here. That conveyor belt working to the advantage of the drivers that have been running at the back of the field. There we have a wreck happening. We still got about 10 cars solidly up at the front of the field. Oh, 29. Skylar Taylor involved in that wreck. As they race back to the caution here, it looks like Eli the
There
Wolf.
goes the neighborhood.
So 11, lap 10, we brought out our second caution here. And pole setter Heen Clutchoke involved in the chaos here on lap 10. There's cars upside down. We're going to have to take a couple looks at this and see how it all transpired. Looks like Ace Blake gets into Taylor Courting there. Courting manages to
It doesn't
kind of...
look like Taylor got a ton of... Oh my god!
Wow.
That, ka-chow.
So William Kinsella Jr. in the 09 goes for a wild ride here. He's right at the front of it all. Yeah, the 29 of Skylar Taylor. 3 wide, mostly causing that. Adam, or that would be Mr. Hill there in the 14, Joe Hill. Joao Vitor ends up upside down on his roof. Seems like the 79 manages to sustain minimal damage there. Most of these drivers just sliding down the track, nowhere else to go. And there's a little bit more aftermath past the initial wrecks there. 29 of Skylar Taylor gets clipped by the 77 of Ace Blake, then turned into the 80. Oh, and the 10 of Chris K. Green. The 84 of Joseph Hayes. as the remainder at the back of the field drive through it. So, now knocked out of the race, we've got the 40 of Jamison Thole, the 43 of Jakov Rosovich, the 78 of, that would be the 78 of Jonah Burridge, the 84 of Joseph Hayes, the 29 of Taylor, or Skylar Taylor. Yeah, Skylar Taylor, 88 of Joao Vitor, the 14 of Joe Hill, the 09 of William Kinsella Jr., the 10 of Chris K. Green. Leaves us with 28 cars left running. And we're going to have to keep a careful, watchful eye on the rest of those that are running for damage.
Well, I think it's safe to say that was the big one.
And it wouldn't be Daytona without a big one. That's most certainly the case.
I'm sure a lot of drivers leaving today not very happy, but
And team owners.
That's kind of the nature of the beast here, I think.
Well, I think we're going to make an executive decision here.
On
how
some
about
people.
the 51?
We'll give them a chance.
Give them a chance.
Give them a chance.
Okay.
Give them a chance. We get started because
You never know.
You never know because go forward a couple cars. That one right there. Go back. One more. Yeah, that one. That I'm thinking there's no way. There's absolutely no way that thing is gonna be up to speed.
He's at max speed right now at 160. We'll just be extra careful and keep an eye on them as they get doubled up here for the restart on lap 15. Pace car is off. And Trevor Vaden, desperately in need of getting as many points against his teammate in the championship battle here, up at the front of the field. Eli the Wolf there. Casey Klein right behind.
Yep. Some of y'all gotta go. Sorry.
I don't know if we've seen the last of the carnage here tonight. Daytona.
I don't like how they're moving up like that. Okay. Whew. That made me a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
Daytona seems to be hungry here tonight. It looks like it's an aggressive track that these guys are racing on. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do the 8 as well.
Yeah, just
51 will give a couple laps as the rest of them have kind of caught back up.
yeah, you never know. He could grab a couple cautions and then maybe get with a couple cars and he's good in a draft.
Look at that. Kaylee Sheets up to the lead here at Daytona. She just won at Evergreen a couple weeks
3 wide
ago.
battle for the lead, too.
She settles into the lead for the moment. And
I
she's
like all
gonna...
that blocking from Kaylee, though. I don't like all that blocking from 3 lanes.
Ace Blake definitely in the battle for the championship here tonight. He needs a little bit of misfortune for his rivals in the championship battle. But he's doing all that he can do running up front here. Sophie Harwick on the inside of that 77. It's going to be tough for these guys to keep from getting in another wreck here. But what about Kaylee Sheets holding down 3 lanes of traffic right now? Oh, Hubert thinking better of it. Ralph Oberstadt. We saw quite a few of these names actually duking it out in the truck race earlier tonight. Unfortunately for Ralph, he ended up out of the mix by the end of the race, but has another chance here in the ARCA series to put on a good showing. There's Taylor Cording and Chase Kovacic on that inside line, almost cracking their way up into the top 5.
I got a feeling we might be all right. We might have cooled it on the wrecking for a little bit. I mean, we don't have that many cars. I mean, yeah, everybody's running 3 wide, but I think everybody's just kind of hanging out.
You'll definitely see the cooler heads prevail here. Those that are the aggressors are going to be the ones to look out for. That 6 definitely made some aggressive moves there to get by Kaylee Sheets. That was impressive. Sophie Harwick.
I really don't like that they keep blocking 3 lanes like that. It's gonna really lead to some disaster.
Right. Well, and you see that even in modern NASCAR with a lot of your guys at these restrictor plate races, it's kind of become the new normal to see them block several lanes of traffic behind them.
Right, and I get it on on the last lap. I get it, but we're how many laps into this now?
20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just about to halfway. I don't know if you need to be blocking 3 lanes of traffic.
Yeah, you're not going to win the race on lap 20. That's for sure. As long as we keep making laps without a caution, it's going to be a great finish here, no matter what happens. Kovacic now making a pass here on Hubert for the lead. Taylor Cording up into the top 5. Wyatt Wilkinson, our points leader, also cracking up into the top 5.
Taylor giving a big push to the 6. Down the straight there. Been nice. It's been a quiet 10-lap run so far, so.
Oh, my mic was muted while I was making a comment there. I was going to say that 62
Yeah.
harnessing his inner Talladega Nights here at Daytona tonight. It looks very strong here for Kovacic.
I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting here, I bet his mic's muted. But I didn't want to say anything and assume, because you might have been just, maybe we're doing a little bit of a quiet crank it up. We do those sometimes where we don't say anything. We just kind of go into it.
Well, I have been sneezing, so I keep muting my mic to avoid
You're good.
catching the sneezes. But yeah, no, it's impressive seeing Kovacic run this strong
Yeah,
here.
he's been running strong all night long here.
He'll keep losing the lead, and then he'll get it back, and then he'll lose it again. I mean, man, we've seen the lead swap hands about 3 times, and it keeps going right back to Kovacic.
Things might get a little spicy here. We're coming up to our first lap car.
Ah, dang it.
Hold on. He's been fine for a while. Let's see how he shuffles through traffic. If he shuffles through traffic, okay. It's not his fault they got him in a corner. But, I mean...
Well, yeah,
if he completely holds them up on the back, then, yeah.
Well, the problem is we're going to have to wait till they get all around him here.
Yeah. It's frustrating that we got to wait till they get all the way around. They all get around him. But at least it's Daytona, so whoever gets around him isn't getting very far.
Hopefully, he decides to pit right here, just because he's got damage on his car. But I don't see that happening. Oh, and we're getting a wreck. No.
Oh my god, that car is tumbling down the back.
Well, the 51 gets the DQ here at halfway.
I'm not... Oh, no! Well, Taylor's just going to give him a shove. To say, what are you doing?
Well, we've had some interesting moments here tonight so far. James Gunner, that's a bummer for him. He was having a decent showing here tonight. This was just the bunch up from, Casey Klein, Eli the Wolf, Craig Popgris. Man, Eli goes for a tumble there. And he's still tumbling. We're going to have to actually do a count on how many times he flipped there. The 22 gets spun into Kaylee Sheets. She just has a mild spin. Looks like she'll be fine. Maybe a little bit of side damage there. So we're going to have to watch on the chase cam. This is going to be... And we'll even go to slow-mo here. Once. I'm going to count the times I see the white stickers. Twice. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and for good measure, ends on all fours. Did I say 13 or 14?
13.
13.
Full Baker's dozen rollover.
Casey Klein, unfortunately, just had nowhere else to go there. He got tangled up in this. Man, Wyatt Wilkinson, he was right there in the area. He's almost like the Alex Palou of IndyCar with the luck that he gets. Watch, we'll have a far chase here on this one and see just how close for comfort this was actually. I mean, not as close for comfort, but still pretty close for comfort. Your points leader as it runs, and after pit stops here.
If you can reach your phone, check your messages.
Just check real quick.
Yeah. Check your Discord messages.
Taylor Courting back up to 5th here even. Oh, okay. So, ARCA
They didn't make it.
officials have stated that the door check from Taylor Courting, it raised a eyebrow on our officials, so she's gonna receive an into the line, into the longest line. Everyone's gonna shuffle around her. She should settle into about 22nd. She'll be back there with Kaylee Sheets. We've only got, well, 21st. She'll fall back to 21st. We only have 21 cars left out of the 37 that started here tonight. So not quite half the field knocked out yet, but could see some more knockout before the end of this one.
Officials didn't like that door check. Just because he's a lap car doesn't mean he has to move. I mean, it doesn't mean that he necessarily can't fight back. He wasn't necessarily causing a complete problem, and he wasn't the result of the caution. There was no real reason to.
Right, and it was after the
Door check
caution,
him.
or it was
Yes.
after the flag had waved that they deemed that an unsafe contact there. So
Not necessarily unsafe, more like unnecessary. It's kind of like an unnecessary roughness type of thing.
right. Nope. So our Sigma officials, they're kind of laying the line down here in the ARCA series to give these rookie drivers kind of, set the bar and draw a line in the sand so that they don't make these same mistakes once they move up the ladder. I mean, you kind of have to start. You have to start from the bottom, and you got to make these rules very blatant.
It's one thing to display displeasure on the radio. It's fine. It happens. Best of us. But at the end of the day, you are driving a couple thousand-pound machine.
Right.
You know, anything goes wrong, bad things can happen.
Well, we're back in racing here at Daytona. Half the field pretty much left running. Craig Bush, an LFG Motorsports team driver, holding the lead over the 69 of Hank Scorpio and the 4 of Bailey Parker. Behind Bailey Parker, we've got Ace Blake, who's still trying to rack up as many points as he can here to get back in the title conversation.
Hold on, I hate to say it, but with only 21 cars left in the race, I really don't see us having much more carnage.
Well, and with 21 laps to go, there's not a lot of laps left for carnage either, so...
I mean, it might get crazier considering we have 20 to go, so maybe our field might get smaller, but who knows?
I know for a fact I'm going to keep a very careful eye on the back of the field. If this car falls more than half a lap off, we will DQ so that we don't have another debacle like that last caution. It's impressive. Bailey Parker leading some laps here over Ace Blake and B. Roy.
I really like the design on that hood. I can't tell if there's damage on it or not.
Yeah, it's actually the design. It kind of gives you the impression that it's damaged. The hard Arizona iced tea can on the hood really kind of pops.
Did you happen to check out Bubba Wallace's car for this week?
I haven't seen the paint scheme reveal. What's he got?
I'm telling you right now, whoever the designer is for that team, that man or woman deserves a raise. It is Columbia, and it is fish scales.
Oh wow!
Like legit, looking at that thing, you can see it, what it's supposed to be, and it looks awesome. Whoever did it deserves a raise. Once we get done here, I want you to look it up. I want to get your reaction on it.
I'll actually pull up the paint scheme reveal right now so I can get a... Wow, it's really subtle, but I like the color scheme with the blue and the white, the teal.
Yeah, you can tell it's supposed to what it's supposed to be.
Right. No, it looks
Like,
kind of like a fish. That's with the fish scales in there. That's a pretty cool paint scheme.
yeah, whoever they're. Oh no, here we go again.
Did they wreck? Did they wreck?
Yep, they wrecked. They wrecked behind. They wrecked them behind.
At least it was a small one, because I still see a lot of
Yeah,
cars. As
yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 maybe, but as we see Taylor Cording back up to I think 6th at the time of
Damn.
at the line.
She keeps finding her way back up to the front. Ooh, Craig Bush was all the way up front leading laps, and he...
That thing looks like it was crab walking a little bit. Oh, it was definitely crab walking a little bit.
The 11 of San Vital, the 69 of Hank Scorpio. Oh, the 16.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Brutal.
That was brutal.
So LFG Motorsports definitely hurting a little bit now. After that hit from the 16, most likely knocks him out of the race.
This is one of those times where the injury policy, that's what I talk about. Moments like those, my boy. Moments like those.
Yeah, we're going to have to evaluate that one for a couple...
That one in the rollover. That one in the rollover, honestly. Those are both pretty nasty.
ARCA brakes. I love it. Yeah, no, definitely. A case of ARCA brakes has hit us here today at Daytona, as we've seen quite a few wrecks that could have been avoided. Holy
that
cow.
one definitely could have been avoided. Ow. What were they doing? If they're not out of the race yet, do us a favor and DQ them. I feel like officials would do that.
Yeah, it looks like they're out of the race. The ones that are left running still have pretty square bodies. 69, the 15.
Look at that Craig getting rolling again.
The 24 has been able to gain quite a few spots here, even though he was on the chopping block for getting DQ'd.
We were just about to hit that DQ button too. The 24 car is really lucky I caught that. Just you were ready to put that in. She is right back up to where she got sent back to the line.
Right? She was in 5th and she comes right back up to 5th. Holy cow. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disable one pace lap here. So we'll get back going on lap 36 here.
Gonna give us 15 to go. I guess y'all can just start calling me Mr. Excitement, because anytime I say that we should be done wrecking, or it's a calm race, and I show up, we get excitement.
Something's bound to happen.
So, I'm done saying we're done wrecking. I'm done saying it. All right. Jacob, when you think we're done wrecking, you tell us. All right.
Okay.
Because I'm clearly wrong. I said we were done wrecking, and look what they've done. Also, I'm just saying, somebody needs to get out here with a Beyblade scheme to fight that Yu-Gi-Oh scheme.
That might be able.
Have you seen the marketing for the new Beyblades?
They are
marketing that for adults.
Really?
My friend, yeah, actually.
Huh. I had a I think an Instagram video that popped up that had a Beyblade, and someone had a spinning fire top, and it lit all the. Oh, what it was fireworks, and it's like one top spins, and then all the others are spinning all at once. So it was a firework fiasco of
Oh, that's
Beyblade,
cool.
Beyblade proportions. See, what I'm kind of planning on doing with the ARCA series, because I've seen it in real life ARCA. Usually, it's kind of like the old faithful. Your paint scheme, the car, the car owner, they'll kind of roll out the same paint scheme every week, and it's kind of it's the leftovers. So in a
Yeah.
way, a lot of these paint schemes are going to be the paint schemes that we see, and they'll become iconic to the ARCA series.
Well, right, and like maybe teams come and go, but yet the color schemes stick around. The sponsorship on them is different though, or
Or
maybe it just doesn't have it,
that too, yeah. Or the
or
drivers come and go too,
heck, maybe it even just has like the outline of where the sticker was.
right? Yeah, no, I mean, even like
But
just having Taylor Cording hop into the 79, that's the same car that we had Alan Chavot driving earlier this year. It's the same
well,
sponsor, same car number, but a different
it's
driver,
it's a similar concept to what the duct tape car was for us for a while.
right?
It's a little bit of a joke of, oh, did it get damaged this week? Oh, we better put some duct tape on it then.
Yeah.
And then he won a race, and we decided that duct tape would probably want to, sponsor the team at that point.
Right.
Felt right at that point.
Yeah. See, and I don't know if you see it quite in the ARCA regional series, but definitely ARCA West and ARCA East. There's usually a team owner, and they'll keep their car number, the styling of their car, kind of iconic. I've at least haven't I mean there's almost always a number 16 Napa car is what I've noticed. I don't know if that's been the case forever.
I get what you mean. It's kind of like there's teams in Cup and stuff. Like there's teams in Cup that come and go all the time that nobody pays attention to.
Right.
I
But
mean, well, we pay attention to them a little bit more now because charters cost so much and they're so important now.
yeah.
But we didn't used to care about the little teams like Go Fast coming in and out.
Right. But it almost seems just a little bit different in ARCA because it's
a little different in those lower series because it's teams that have built homes there.
and it doesn't always come down to sponsor, the sponsor image.
It's not necessarily what sponsor is on that car. It's the team.
Who was it
It's
for?
literally the team.
There was one driver forever that made a living, like Bobby Gerhart, who had made a living in ARCA, and he always drove a black number 5 Lucas Oil paint scheme. There's a few other drivers that are there at the back of my brain, but I just can't remember their names.
Oh no!
But definitely,
put herself in the sucker hole.
Gerhart was one of those guys that, he was always in an iconic paint scheme through the ARCA series.
Right, and it's kind of a local track thing too. A little bit.
Yeah.
Because you have guys like that too on the local side of things where they never change their car. They just clean it up.
Keep it iconic, yep. Oh no, the 62 of Kovacic pulling down pit road. Wyatt Wilkinson will lead the lap here on lap 41.
10 to go here. 10 to go.
Trevor Vaden takes over the lead. Wyatt Wilkinson now set up with a task here to try and stay up towards the front. Yeah, let's see how many drivers are trapped a lap down right now. Looks like
None.
The 62 might be our first driver to go lap down during this stint. He's gonna rejoin the racetrack after pitting there.
Andy's going to get out before they put him a lap down, so he might have a chance. And if we get a caution, we can always give him the wave around. He'll be
And
the only one.
we've got green-white checkers enabled in case they're needed, so. Vaden gets shuffled up high here, and now Matthew Hubert, Finley Herwig, and Ace Blake on the move. Taylor Courting still hanging in within the picture there. Last race's winner, Kaylee Sheets, still trying to work her way back up to the front. So yeah, ultimately, even though next year we're going to try to expand the manufacturer base, we're still going to keep it pretty much a spec series where the engines aren't really a factor. We've seen tonight that spec format comes into play because we had drivers separated by half a second throughout the field. But just for, team, there might be an LFG team out there that wants to stay with their Honda, or a TRD that wants to stick with a Toyota. So we'll allow different, badge, emblems and stuff out there. I think they call it a badge job or whatever, because it's not really the engine that's altered, but rather the appearance that's altered. So going into 2025, you'll see kind of a manufacturer battle, even though there ain't going to be much distinction between all the manufacturers.
What? Is this currently being run on the same mod as your Cup Series?
No. Nope. This will be our Gen 6 mod.
Hear me out. If you want ARCA to be that way, why don't you run it on that mod? So then, when people want to recycle the bodies, it makes a little more sense.
Well, and I guess that makes, so this digs deeper, because Gen 6 is actually one of the last mods that I used for Cup. And so I can actually recycle a lot of the paint schemes from 2015 for this ARCA series.
Whoa.
If I decided to.
Well, I mean, if it can work as a bit of a like throwback to that, then I feel like that makes the most sense. Actually, that makes the literal most sense.
So going forward, if the Cup Series evolves to a new mod, the ICR mod would eventually become the ARCA series.
Okay, that makes sense. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
And this is a throwback to the yesteryear of the Sigma, well, Sylvania, but still the Sigma Cup series as it stands. What do we want to do on the 62 here? He's gonna stall on the backstretch, it looks like.
DQ him?
Do we want to throw caution?
Yeah, it's gonna give us green white checker. Why not? He's gonna wait. Yeah, well, hold on. Let's see if he can make it, because he's on the apron, so he's out of the way. He's not gonna cause any trouble.
We're gonna go ahead and DQ the 24 here.
Yeah, he's half a lap down. Get him out of here.
Craig Bush, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. 13. If he drops down to 6 miles an hour on the backstretch, we'll throw the caution.
He's dying. Go ahead and throw it. He's dying.
There comes the leaders. Bam. 6, 9, 8, 7. 6.
Gave him plenty of chance.
Alrighty.
As long as they don't wreck, you know, after the caution.
Right.
It's going to set us up for a good one. And maybe we'll make this a quicker caution too, just because all it was cleaning up a car that, you know, ran out of gas. So if nobody goes in, well, I'd say yeah. After everybody comes out, it wouldn't hurt to drop it by one.
Yep, I'll go ahead and wait till they cross the finish line once here. Which upon crossing, maybe they'll actually all pit. It might surprise us here.
Yeah, because all the green white checkered thing does is add an extra lap when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd suck if it added all three though, right off the bat.
So it should say 49 of 51. Yep. And that'll take one pace lap away. We'll go ahead and let them run one more lap.
Let those people fixing damage have their minute there.
So Ace Blake up to second here. Rand Kataz, Finley Herwig, and up to fifth, of course, Taylor Cording.
She keeps finding herself back in that fifth position.
She's kind of, that's her happy spot right there.
She hasn't led a lap all day though. I don't think she's led a lap yet today.
I'm pretty sure she's been, yeah, anything but the lead so far.
I feel like that's a lot of people in the field though. They've been everywhere but the lead.
Well, and it doesn't matter until the last lap anyways. You're wanting to lead that last lap.
I guess in that brief transition period, at one point she led like a lap or two.
Oh, okay.
When we were green flagged for probably about 15 laps there, I think she got shuffled to the front.
Mm-hmm.
And then put herself at the top and fell back again. But yeah, this should set us up for a good one.
Lights are out on the pace car here. And a good old-fashioned green-white checkered here on a Wednesday night at Daytona. And I think it's going to come down to who gets rolling the quickest here. Usually it takes them about a lap to get up to speed. Green-white checkers at Daytona definitely are tough to predict.
You never know. We could end up having another one on top of it.
We could.
Depending on how things shake up. Here we go.
Green flag waves. Hubert with the lead. Ace Blake on the high side. Ace Blake definitely not in the area he should be to get this race won here tonight. That outside line is going to be a death sentence for that 77 car. Here comes Taylor Cording.
And the 9 is in the sucker hole now, so looks like, yeah, Taylor gonna be the one shuffled out to maybe lead this at the end here.
They're gonna get one lap here before they get the white flag. Taylor Cording on the inside of that 9 car. She's going to have the 19 of Wilkinson giving her a push here. Our points leader, it's going to be a huge push from Wilkinson. Oh, whoa, they go way low there. White flag waving. Hubert holds the lead for now. Ooh,
Taylor with a big run on the bottom, though. Oh, big cut bottom, though.
I think Hubert's pretty much just trying to race defensively here. That was not a move for the win, but rather a move to try and maintain the lead that he is losing. That unfortunately shuffles Taylor Cording up into the high groove here.
That might help her get the win. You never know.
That 6 blocking both lines of traffic here. The 19's going to have to make a bold move on the front stretch. Matthew Hubert blocking to perfection. Matthew Hubert's going to roll to a win here at Daytona.
5th. She ended up 5th after all that. Lucky number 5, I guess.
Our points
Still
leader,
another top 5, though.
Wyatt Wilkinson, securing yet another front of the field finish there. Our points battle is starting to look a little bit more bleak for the remainder of our field. Vaden comes home 14th. Ace Blake coming home 12th. But at the top of the pyramid here today, it is Matthew Hubert. Yeah, I think we'll eventually see Taylor Cording in victory lane. It's just a matter of time before.
It's a matter of time thing for her now. That one almost came to her. I think it just barely slipped out of her hands.
I mean, she was fortunate here tonight to stay out of harm's way throughout the entirety of this race.
Well, and she tried to make the move on Hubert at the end there.
Mm-hmm.
But he moved with her just as she was trying to make that move.
And for whatever reason, Wyatt Wilkinson still keeps finding his way up to the front of the field, even when he's having a rough night. Our points leader just continues to lay it on thick here for all the other contenders trying to get that title. Coming home 3rd, Evan Snake, Donovan Heist, Taylor Cording with a top 5. Rand Kataz, RF Gustavo, Kaylee Sheets backs up her win with an 8th place finish. Sophie Harwick and Finley Herwig rounding out your top 10. Other title contenders, we had Ace Blake in 12th, Trevor Vaden in 14th, Craig Bush comes home 16th. So, yeah, with only about 5 races left, this ARCA title looking pretty much on lock for Wyatt Wilkinson at the moment. And there's no silly gimmicks here in ARCA. It's pretty much just points. There's no win. There's no playoffs. It's all about getting those precious points and being the number 1 driver at the end of a season here. And 5 races left. The last 5 races should be something exciting. We have added on an extra race in the ARCA series. We will have a race on the moon. Every series will have pretty much it'll be the border, the basis for going on into 2025, where it'll be the Sigma series, the interglobal part of things. So well, that kind of rounds out our double header here for tonight. What did you think, James?
That was a really exciting race. I very, very Daytona, honestly. Um, lots of carnage. Lots of carnage tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, at least we had some racing to kind of mix in with the carnage. So we got treated to some, very stereotypical Daytona, but at the same time, got to see a surprise winner, which,
And I feel like people shuffled from the front and the back very, very nicely. You know?
well, and we even had, we had some standout drivers tonight. I mean, Taylor Courting, even though she got shuffled to the back into the line penalty, she still found her way back up for a top 5. So it shows you that some of these drivers really have a knack for the super speedway races and some don't. And unfortunately, a lot of them got bit with unlucky, the unlucky strike here tonight. So with that, we will go ahead and close out for tonight. Tomorrow, we will have Bridge to Cup, which that is getting pretty interesting with the bracket battle, trying to decide who will be competing for the overall championship in just a couple weeks' time at the end of August. So you won't want to miss out on that. We do have an extra race planned for the Bridge to Cup series to fill in an extra race just like the other series that we're throwing on the moon. So maybe I'll pull the trigger on that tomorrow night. Maybe I'll wait another week. But do expect at least an extra race for Bridge to Cup as well. If we don't have a doubleheader on Bridge to Cup, we will have, of course, Bridge to Cup followed by the Cup Series. So, and then we'll be pretty much back on schedule. So, thanks again, James, for hopping in on the call here tonight.
Happy to do it, man. I'm loving this ARCA series. The series is fun.
Right. No, it's a perfect series with the shorter stream times, and I love this ARCA series just like you do. It's kind of got the mojo going for it. So I'm excited for 2025 to be coming, and ARCA should be one of our bread and butter series. Hopefully we can get some more people signed on because we're gonna have some people graduating out of ARCA. So as I've been rambling on here, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night out there, and hopefully we'll see you on the next stream. As for tonight, this is Jakester signing out. We'll see you on the next one.